Afternoon, everybody. Afternoon, everybody. Just trying to kill time until my dog is done getting washed. So I figured I'd try and get another ending on this while I wait. It'll probably be done another 2 hours or so. Anyway, let's begin. Didn't really stream last week since I was too dead from work. And I still am, but today's not a bad day. So here we go. I forgot what I was doing. Alright, we picked up the Rocket Girl. Let's see. And I wanted to make a half a year. Either a sweet rice ball, a chocolate cake, a taco, or a regular rice ball. Let's see, I have flour, onion, egg, mackerel, tuna. Sweet. Yeah, let's just get rid of some of these ingredients. Yeah, sure, Caesar salad. Go for it. Eat up. Examine. Yes, let's look. Did we need milk for something? Pretty sure we did. I'll leave for now. Yes, rummage. I was actually looking up prices for a T120 the other day. It looks like the new ones are getting pretty good reviews. Dogs. Or some food. We need our food right now, so we'll wait. And what is this? Look for tools. Yes. Oh. Wait. 4. 1. Yeah, it should be it, I think. Let's hope I'm right. Am I right? No, I was fucking wrong. Damn it. Well, to be fair, I'm still new at those kind of puzzles. Whoa, what is that? Fruit on a tree. Yeah, eat it. And we have another full thing, so let's see if we can make any of this. Flour, milk, egg. Yeah, we got so much flour. Yeah, let's just do this. Wow, that's a pretty nice stat boost. Cool. More cocoa powder. even if I had a bike right now, I probably wouldn't be riding until late evenings maybe, because it's been so hot in Florida recently. Like, not only has it been on and off raining like every other day, it's been basically in the 90s. Nah, we don't need that. Honestly, we don't even need the fuel. Let's toss the fuel. Toss it. Alright. Can I make... Oh, I'm still missing rice. Can I do a taco at least? What's a taco recipe? Taco flour. And meat. Yeah, I can do a taco. Wait, what? Come on. Frying pan, flour, meat. Oh, I need 2 meats. Okay. Flour, meat. Okay. So, I'll unlock where people are. Yes, eat. Do you know any places like that? Places where there could still be people left, you mean? Yep. No idea. If I knew that, I'd be there already. Maybe there really isn't anyone else left. Examine inside. Cool, got rice. We can only speculate. I think I said this on another stream, but I really like Yakime's design. She looks really cool. Yeah, we can only speculate. But if there are people left, they'd probably broadcast their presence through radio or something. But there's no electricity anymore. How could they do that? Batteries. They couldn't use radio towers or anything like that, sure. But sending a simple broadcast through radio waves is possible, if you know how. Oh, do you know why? Turns out I do. Let's try doing it. I have tried for almost a month after this whole thing happened. Nobody ever came. Aww. Of course, my broadcasting range was pretty limited. Maybe there were still people, but it just so happened that nobody had a radio on at that time. Good luck then. Oh, we got a conversation. And it looks like it's about to be night, so I guess we should... I'll go a little further and see if there's anything up the road. And then I'll turn around and go back to that house there. Yeah, we can sleep there for the night. And turns out there is. Nice. Yep, there is. And we just passed a house, so we will go back and sleep there. Yes. Stay tonight. Speaking of houses, I actually had lunch at my boss's house yesterday with him and his, well, they're not married, but might as well be his wife and their new baby. Like, the baby met me before, but she, for whatever reason, she couldn't stand my existence yesterday. It was like I just offended her. She'd look at me and start crying. But eventually she warmed up to me when I started playing with her toys. So that was nice. It was an overall nice experience. I feel bad though. That's the second time they've invited me over for dinner. I think next time I go there, I'll offer to do the cooking instead. I can't invite them to my house. It's still needs a lot of work done. I don't want the fuel. Ugh, whatever. Alright, next day. And let's see if we can make our... Yeah, let's see if we can make a rice ball. Where's the recipe for the rice ball? Burn pot, rice, anything. Okay. Rice. No, we need... Let's do rice in it. No. Rice and... curry powder? No. Rice and an onion. Sure, rice and an onion. That sounds like a horrid rice ball, but we need the conversation. Alright. You know about the force field, don't you? Just a bit. I should explain that first then. Yes. Yakime's eyes lost focus as she was looking far, far away. It all started with the spread of a new disease. A disease, huh? Yeah, let's look. It's milk. We have enough curry powder, so we'll just take the sweet bean. Inventory. Go away. Yes. Sorry, spread of a new disease, alright. The first attempts to stop the disease from spreading further relied on what science already knew about germs. Unfortunately, none of them worked. Nobody had any idea of how disease was actually being transmitted. Scientists eventually found out that how the disease was spreading, and it was something unheard of: infection by sight. Wow, that's pretty hardcore. This phenomenon was given the name eyesight energy, as looking at somebody was enough to transmit the disease. Basically, a person's eyes didn't just absorb to see things, they also emitted energy. That's an interesting theory. Someone else's eyes could intercept that energy, causing an interaction between two people locking gazes. Yes, let's look inside. Oh, fuck. 2, 1, 4. Yeah, 3. Cool. I did it. Let's see. Yeah, let's take the fish and sweet beans, rice, brown sugar. Get rid of that. Okay, so let's intercept that energy, causing interaction between two people locking gazes. People were transmitting information simply by looking at each other. The disease exploited and jumped from host to host through their visions. That discovery sent the world into a frenzy, but it didn't take long for society to recover. People found ways to go on with their life despite the threat of the disease. Most work became remote, in-person interactions became sparse and cautious. Despite tens of thousands of people dying, it wasn't the end of civilization. As research progressed, scientists found ways to block eyesight energy. Despite being entirely new phenomena, in principle it worked like a type of electromagnetic wave. Researchers quickly learned how to reproduce eyesight waves. That's interesting. As it turns out, the disease wasn't using waves to spread copies of a microorganism. All it did was transmit information. It was an information-based disease. That kind of makes no sense, but okay. The plan to defeat it was about creating a force field that would interfere with that information. It was like jamming electronic communication devices. The information would be corrupted before it could reach its recipient, making the force field rally become the world's top priority. The machinery necessary to create it didn't require any rare materials or innovative manufacturing processes. Before long, force field devices were installed throughout the world. They became common as telephone poles scattered on every viable corner of Earth. Yeah. And then, out of Earth, one such device was installed on a satellite and went into space. Soon the eyesight waves of every single human being were being jammed by the force field. Humanity was rid of the disease and life could finally go back to normal, or so they thought, but it had been victory. But the price for victory was steeper than anyone had imagined. People started disappearing into thin air. Cool. Okay. Guess I could cook any meal. Sweet beans. An egg. Brown sugar. Well, whatever. Wow, this is a long topic. See, the eyesight energy that the force field interacts with is paramount to human perception, or so it seems. It still wasn't clear how exactly people were disappearing. By the time the phenomenon had started, there wasn't much of a society left to research it. The disease kills thousands of people, but people were disappearing hundreds of times faster than even that. More cocoa powder. Wow, that's really messed up. This time there was no frenzy, just silence. And the world stopped in a whisper. Maybe with enough time, science could have explained eyesight energy in greater detail. However, there were no more research organizations. The smartest researcher in the world couldn't do much if they were completely alone. I mean, didn't that Senku kid from Dr. Stone basically do a lot of stuff alone? Now I think about it, there was I think later on in the season they all get stuck in stone again except one little girl, and she ends up doing it all by herself. No, I haven't. Don't quote me on that though, because I haven't really watched much Dr. Stone. I've only seen like maybe the first 2 or 3 episodes. Oh yeah. Anyway, back on topic. Even if by chance they made a great discovery, they couldn't broadcast it to anyone else. Television, radio, and even the internet had stopped working. A similar but opposite problem was happening with the force field. It quickly became clear that the force field was somehow causing the disappearances. But by then, those who could disable it were already gone. Oof. Furthermore, most force field devices were self-powered through solar panels. Even with all the power plants down, they were still working. There are force field devices all over the world. There are a lot of different designs, but most look like cell stations. Cell stations, I've never seen one. Think of them as small antennas as well, relatively small. They're about as tall as a person. Sure. More sweet beans. We can get rid of it. Now we have to make food. I can make pudding. Anyway, we're just gonna... Yes, it's fine. Eat. Yes. Think of them as small antennas as well. Relatively small. They're about the size of a small person. Well, as tall as a person. And they're still shooting out the force field? Yes, they're solar powered. That being said, they're not even that hard to dismantle. I've destroyed a few around this town myself. However, it didn't do anything. You sailed to town, didn't you? Yes, let's look inside. More fish. Yes. Yeah, it was empty. Maybe removing the force field isn't enough to make people reappear. Oh, yeah, gotta turn around. Or maybe I can look up at the sky once again. That piece of junk up there is the problem. That satellite she's trying to blow up. Hence the rockets. Exactly. The only way to test my theory is to actually take that satellite down. There must be an easier way, some way to control it from Earth, right? Oh, I bet there is. But if I don't know how to do it, what's the point? And also, whatever organization launched it from the first place has probably been gone for months. Okay, we need to cook more. Let's see, let's do that. And curry powder. Yes. That's likely. Yep. I've always worked with hardware. My job was always involved getting dirty with motor oil. Software, telecommunications, and stuff like that are out of my wheelhouse. Very nice. Yes. I'll wait for them to move. What are you? Throw some food. play dead. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna go back the other way. I need my food. We'll try to make this sweet rice ball. Let's see, sweet rice ball. And pot rice, sweet beans. Rice, sweet beans. Go. Okay. Did you pass by the town at the foot of the mountain, or is there anyone still there? We did, but there was no one there. Just as I thought. If there was anyone there, they probably would have come after seeing the rocket. I see. That means you saw it. Yeah. Question. Wait. I thought that people who disappeared couldn't see anything, rocket or otherwise. Doesn't that just mean we haven't disappeared? That could be it. But something sounds off. What sounds off? How do I make tempura again? Sorry, I have the memory of a goldfish, so I'll forget these recipes. Tempura. Pot flour and meat. Well, flour or meat? Flour. Wait. Meat, vegetables, or fish. Okay. We need a fish. Well, I had so many earlier. Oh, actually, well, we have the chocolate cake thing, so let's just make that. Flour, cocoa powder. Flour, cocoa powder. Heat up. You've been stuck in here for half a year? Well, I do leave the hut sometimes. I'll go to... Oh, sorry. Having a brain fart. I'll go to nearby towns to see if anyone's still there, for example. But I don't really like the idea of staying in a stranger's house. Even if it's empty, so I always come back here. And have you met anyone else so far? Not even once. I seriously thought I was the last human. Well, I was the last remaining human being on Earth. There's got to be more people around somewhere, though, right? I don't think there are. Why not? Oh, you know why. If nobody's looking at you, you disappear. With a trigger like that, disappearing is just too easy. Nobody can avoid it. But you did. Well, that's just she's built different. A coincidence. Right. Oh snap, I finally have the quest for pudding. What we're gonna do. looks like it's about to change days, so we will continue our questioning of her with the next day and see if we can find shelter. It looks like the day's about to end. Now that's really interesting though about this ice, the whole eyesight thing, and then the force field. Basically, I'm wondering if because that force field was blocking this said eyesight energy, it just kind of like overloaded, and then everybody just started disappearing because there was not just an abundance of this eyesight energy, as they put it. Okay. It's probably a dumb theory on my part, but it's a theory. Alright. New day. Now let's make tempura. Yes. Okay, girls. Oh, please tell me you're not leaving yet. You can drop me here. Here. What's here? I want the warehouse where I get materials I need for rockets. I usually come here by car, but I was out of gas. But how are you going to get back home? You should stay with us. I'll just find a car and take it. There are a bunch of cars with gas or full gas tanks around here. I see. Image. No, don't leave. What are you two going to do? We still haven't thought about it. We'll just keep going down this road. Oh. Yakime, you seem disappointed. A journey without a goal. Sounds fun. Yakime smiled politely, but she didn't look particularly intrigued. Well, that's it then. Thanks again. No, don't leave. Don't leave. No. Aww. Help. Well, that was unfortunate. Anyway, I think we have the recipe to make pudding, so we're going to make pudding. Many of it milk, egg, yep. Egg, milk, pudding. You know, though, you don't need to be staring at people or anything to keep them from disappearing. Really? I triggered it even though she's not here. Yes, Sumibi and I are always peering into each other's eyes. Even if we can't really see each other for a second, it's fine. As long as we know the other person is there, that is. Like when I'm riding the bike, I couldn't do it if I had to stare at Sumibi all the time. More milk. Yes. True. I'm trying to look at your back as much as I can, though. Oh, you'll make me blush. Anyways, get your flirting out of here. Anyway, this should be obvious, but we don't see each other while we're sleeping. That makes sense. Since everyone's already gone by the time I woke up, I didn't think too hard about it. I think it works because we're always holding hands till morning. Oh. That's cute. Yeah, let's toss that. Okay, now she's officially gone. I guess I would have unlocked us something else if we have so much. Oh, well, I guess just cook any meal. Actually, she was so weird. Normal's overrated, Nikomi. I liked her though. I'd say she was probably the most interesting character we've come across, I think. Very weird. Whatever, I liked her. But I guess we also look weird to other people. Sure, but not as much as lady who launches rockets for a hobby. Hey, that's a cool hobby. You think so? This journey of ours is plenty weird too. Well, what else are we supposed to do with all this free time? I know, but still. They had no idea where their journey would lead them. They had no idea whether their journey would never end. But the bike shook hard enough to make one forget about such trifling things. Sumibi looked up at the sky. It was clear, wide, and empty. I wonder how come it forced my day to end. Examine the laboratory. Let's see if we can find it though. I forget where it is. Through here. Whoa. We have a lot of rice, so we'll throw that out. Throw away those. And just cook any meal for why not? The bike was running through small rows and rows of houses went by. There isn't a single person in sight. Of course not. Any ideas for dinner? fight. What the hell? I'd like some pizza. I can't make pizza. Oh, you asked me for ideas. Oh, come on now. I feel like just having pizza too. Sure, let's look. What's that? Let's take the milk and leave. Maybe pizza is unrealistic. We just need to try hard enough. No way we'd have to start building our brick oven just for pizza. It doesn't have to be authentic, you know. It does. Fish. Sure, why not? Yes. There goes our pizza dinner then. Let's wait it out. I can't make pizza. What you talk about doesn't matter. You're talking with a real person in a real world. Having someone to talk to can mean so much. Alright. Of course, they had been alone, this journey would already be over. As they were, Nikomi always has to be in her field of vision and vice versa. They must not stop looking at each other, not even for a second. Oh my god. I think I got another, that other thing was another ending. Well, at least it wasn't a bad ending, just a journey continues, I guess. Anyway, I think that's it for now. I still have a little bit before I have to pick up Holo. But I gotta do some laundry. Anyway, take care, everybody.